What's up, guys? Jeff Boski here, ready to do a question and answer from comments from our last vlog. Moo Jersey 3 asks, where are you from? Education? Girlfriend? What does she think? I'm from a suburb of Detroit. I moved to Las Vegas in 2008 to play live full-time and online. Education, I went to the University of Michigan, go Blue, for 2.5 years before dropping out, quitting my job to play poker full-time. Girlfriend? No. No. I can't afford a girlfriend. Physically, mentally, financially. Not yet. Maybe one day. Not right now. Zachariah Hayes asks, what inspired you to take on this lifestyle? Previously, I had been a call center supervisor, managing a team of 20 to 30 people on outside sales. This got pretty frustrating and tiring, dealing with many personalities day in and day out. The income limit was limited, and the performance wasn't rewarded. So I wanted to look into something that was more lucrative for my efforts. A lot of my friends were playing poker. Some were doing very well. Some were winning tournaments. I decided to give it a try. Played cash, played tournaments. So I started playing cash on party poker. Was making about $100 a day, playing 25, 50 cent four tabling. $100 a day was more than enough to live on back in the suburbs of Detroit. My buddy won a tournament for $11,000, the $10 rebuy on Poker Stars, maybe 12 years ago, and that inspired me to try out tournaments. From there, it was a pretty natural fit. Got the hang of them well. Slowly moved up the stakes from $1, $2 to $5 tournaments. Eventually got backed for bigger buy-ins, $30, $50, $100 tournaments. Continued to win, kept moving up in stakes to $100 rebuys, $500 Sunday events. Went on a sick heater in 2009. Profiting over $400,000. From there, steadily won, did enough to pay the bills. And 12 years later, I have not had a normal job, and that's probably my biggest accomplishment, not working for the man. J.D. Arovitz asks, any advice you have for someone thinking on playing poker full-time? The advice I would give if you're starting now is don't do it. Go into a tech field, computer programming, robotics, something that looks like it's going to be big in the future. Unfortunately, poker is a dying game. I don't see a big boom coming in the near future. Even the regs are quitting or moving on to different ventures. The recreationals are getting better. Rake is getting higher. I know this seems very doom and gloom, but these are the facts. I have been on a great run recently, but that does not indicative of my long-term projected success. So I'd say play for fun, but get a real job and enjoy the balance. 7Faker7 asks, how soft are the fields in the $150 to $400 buy-in range in Vegas during the World Series of Poker? Very soft. Tournament selecting during the summer in Vegas is very important. If your ego will allow you, if there is a $1,500 tournament at the Rio, a $1,000 tournament at the Venetian, and a $400 tournament at Planet Hollywood or Golden Nugget, some other off-strip casino, it's usually best to play the $400 tournament because the people that have the biggest egos, the best players, and the players in makeup are going to be playing the higher, tougher events. A lot of times it's good to tournament select, just like you would game select in a cash game. Play the lower buy-in that will have the far worse players that will increase your profitability and lower your variance. Flush Draw asks, do you feel that at times you get overly aggro in spots that in retrospect you should have backed off from? Or, in your opinion, is there no such thing as too aggressive? Well, I only show, 2-3% of the hands. A lot of them I'm just folding pre-flop, raising and taking it, c-betting, taking it down or folding. In general, I am very aggressive, and I feel that's the best way to play in MTTs as opposed to loose passive or weak tight. Of course, when things don't work out, you have a natural inclination to regret based on results. But overall, if you keep the foot on the pedal, but be selective and know when to take it off at times, I think that's the best formula for success in multi-table tournaments. MJDJ45 asks, Jeff, aren't you worried that guys see your videos and see your aggression, that they adjust? Yes and no. A lot of people have come up to me since I started these vlogs that I've never met before and said, hey, love the vlogs. Most common response. And at the table, they usually don't tell me if they've seen the vlogs, but I don't think they can adjust well, even if they do know I'm aggressive ahead of time. I think they kind of assume I'm aggressive just by my age and just by seeing how I play certain hands. How they adjust to it, it's hard to say. In my last video where the guy cold calls off with ace-7 off because I was shoving a lot, as he said, that's just a bad adjustment to my aggressiveness. I mean, sure, I did have king-queen, but with the action in front, ace-7 off is just not going to be a profitable cold call in that spot. So he adjusted, but not correctly. I think overall it will help me more than it will hurt me because people tend to fear the more aggressive players and more wait for good hands and let the aggressive player run them over in the meantime. So I'll happily accumulate chips while they wait for hands or try to find spots to play back at me. Arian KS asks, can we buy a piece of your summer action? Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be putting a piece for sale on any type of marketplace. Due to my current upswing, bankroll's fine to handle the swings of a full summer palette. I usually swap a few percent with other local pros, maybe swap some deep in events with other people I trust. But other than that, I think I'm going to keep almost all of my summer action. These tournaments are the best of the year with the biggest prize pools. When I get that inevitable 6-figure score, I'm going to want as big a piece of the pie as possible. Do-Tin Chummer asks, what do you reckon to be the most important skill for a profitable winning poker player in the long term? There's many skills needed to sustain this lifestyle. Bankroll management, emotional control. It's a very bipolar game, especially tournaments as opposed to cash games where the swings will be much greater. The highs are high and the lows are low. There isn't much middle ground. So you have to stay mentally stable no matter what happens and be true to yourself and reflective upon your play as to the mistakes you've made. Luck helps, discipline, being smart, not going into the pits and degenning all your wins and going to clubs every night. You have to look at the long term. If you win 10K in a tournament, that doesn't mean you can go out and blow 5K at the strip club. That means you're probably going to lose the next 5K in tournament buy-ins before you hit a score again. So you have to be prepared for the long run, pay your taxes, pay your bills, and be smart about it. Treat poker like a business. Warren Bluffett asks, can you describe in more detail why you take a flip with 5-5 when you have more than half the chips in play? Well, regarding the hand, the button raised to 250,000 and I was in the small blind with 5 million. Button has 3.4 million to start. The button was raising very wide, king 6, ace 7, and his rate, the gap in his hands between his raise calls and raise folds is great. So by me shoving pocket fives in the small blind, I take away his positional advantage, and the amount of times he folds, I pick up the $400K dead money in there without needing a showdown. The times he does call, of course, we're going to be 40% dog against ace king, ace queen, bigger pairs, but that's fine too because it's not our tournament life at stake. The amount of times he folds far outweighs the amount of times that he calls, and our equity is going to be above 50% long run with that play. As far as flatting, as you suggested, it's not a good play because you're not closing the action. The big blind can still squeeze, and you're going to be out of position for the rest of the hand against a good player, and pocket fives don't play that well post flop, especially out of position. Philip McKinnish asks, what do you do for a living? Todd Miskus asks, have you ever been passed on the freeway on the way to the strip? Not on my watch. Although the time lapse is deceptive, I think it's about 60 seconds equals 1 second in real time, so it looks like I'm driving a lot faster than I am. Shout out to the fine police force out there. Thanks for not giving me a ticket. I213 asks, is this real life? No, I'm sorry to say this is not real life. This is a simulation. Much like a computer game, a video game, if you will. And we're playing video games within our video game. We are in the Matrix. Jack Robinson says, greatest vlog out there. You got shit figured out, bud. 100% respect. What or who would you say was your biggest asset in your poker career? It's hard to pinpoint one thing. I'd have to say just practice, dedication, work ethic, being able to log into PokerStars every day and fire up 50, 60 tournaments and trial and error, tournament leaderboard chasing, just dedication and drive to a common goal of profitability and success, being able to provide for myself and my friends and enjoy life. And it's fun to be good at a game, whether it's a video game, Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, poker, bowling, basketball. It's always more fun to be good at something. So strive to be the best. And if you're only in the top 5 percentile, so be it. At least you're better than the other 95%. Lindley Hall asks, how do you pick which hands to review? First of all, shout out to the 3% female viewing audience out there. I have not forgot about you. As far as the hands I review, I don't really cherry pick them as to discriminate the more favorable ones to make my brand look better. I choose any hand that is a big, interesting spot. If I played it bad, if I regret it, if I own someone, it's going to go out there, and I'm going to give an objective view of the hand and how it played out. No one's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and I'm just going to put it out there for your entertainment and for your knowledge to get a better view of what it's like to be a professional live tournament player. Thanks for all the questions and comments. Be prepared for a good string of live vlogs in the near future. We're looking to release them every 2 days. So subscribe and comment below.
Coming from Rachel Starr herself, watch Jeff Boski on YouTube.